What's up, YouTube? In today's video, I'm talking about the Miami Heat and what to expect from their offseason. We've already heard a couple little pieces of information that kind of are putting together their idea of what they're going to do. So we'll discuss that here. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and all the other stuff. Comment, let me know what you think about what the Heat should do. But without further ado, let's just jump right on into it. All right, so we have the Miami Heat. They have a couple restricted free agents. Caleb Martin. Um, I've heard that they're a little bit reluctant to be hard capped, which I won't really go too much into here. But ultimately, it seems like it might be hard for them to keep both Caleb Martin and PJ Tucker. Let me quickly though talk about some other free agent guys. Markieff Morris, Dwayne Dedmon, Udonis Haslem. Haslem, if he wants to be back, he should be back. Dwayne Dedmon, we'll see. I think he has value as a backup center, so we'll see there. Markieff Morris, Victor Oladipo, other guys as well. It doesn't sound like Oladipo is going to be back on the team. It sounds like that they're probably going to allow him to leave, and we'll see what his future is. In the NBA, does he land on a team like the Lakers or the Clippers, like for the vet minimum? That would be interesting. And a name to keep your eye on. Now, I don't think he's like a guy who changes the future of a team, but can you get something from him? I think he can. And showed like a good game or two in the playoffs. So anyway, PJ Tucker. This is kind of the big free agent that the Heat have this offseason. They are going to, really be in a tough situation here. It sounds like Tucker is likely going to go to the Philadelphia 76ers. He opted out of his player option, and he decided to become an unrestricted free agent to get more money. And I think he's going to get that money with Philadelphia for 3 years, it sounds like. So this is likely a loss for Miami in Tucker. And we'll talk a little bit about what they can do to replace him in just a moment. Other information here, non-guaranteed. They'll probably keep Strus, Gabe Vincent, Omer Yurtseven. I think that news is broke on all of those guys, that they're keeping all those guys. So we can disregard that. And then extension players. Strus, Vincent, what are their deals moving forward? How are the Heat kind of going to move forward with them? And ultimately, what's their plan? Because those guys are making very similar to what the veteran minimum is, because they're guys who weren't drafted. And so how much is a good figure for them? We saw them give Duncan Robinson a lot of money. I don't think they're going to do that again with Strus or Vincent, but interesting to see kind of what can happen there. Tyler Hero, though, is the biggest thing. It sounds like they're going to do everything in their power to keep Hero. Won the Sixth Man of the Year award last year, and I think he's really solid. But $25 million, it sounds like, is what he's going to get annually over 4 to 5 years. So we'll see what that looks like. That makes me think, that's going to be over $100 million, right? That's the contract he'll sign. So that will be big for Hero, and ultimately, that's probably going to be their biggest move, free agency wise or extension wise, that they can make. Now, maybe they attract some of the veteran minimum guys, but at the same time, their cap sheet is pretty high as is, because they're paying Lowry, because they're paying Bam, and because they're paying Jimmy Butler. It's just going to be, and obviously the Duncan Robinson money, it just makes it a little harder, from there. But they'll make moves. They'll need to make moves, and we'll look at their cap sheet right now, actually. Tucker, Haslem, Dedmon, Morris, Oladipo, these guys are all off the books. So, their playoff rotation is relatively intact. Strus and Vincent. Do they play Yurt-7 more? Do they go and pay Caleb Martin? So a lot of decisions for the Heat to kind of round out their roster. Their core pieces, their core players of Tyler Hero, Butler, Adebayo, Lowry, and Robinson, those guys are there. But they're going to have 4 dudes that are going to be paid over $25 million next year. Is there a move that can allow them to get off some money? The Lowry deal and how much it was for, pretty big. And not too fond of that particular decision there. But let's go back and talk about what I think they need. I think they're a good defensive team. I think they just need some offensive versatility. It's just Jimmy Butler and it's Hero when he comes off the bench. and that's pretty much it. So could you add a little bit more size and scoring on the perimeter? Couple names here that kind of are interesting for the Heat. We have heard rumors of Torian Prince, who actually has just re-signed with Minnesota, so I should delete that. Thaddeus Young, T.J. Warren, Jay Crowder, most recently those two. I think those two would be guys that they could fit in if P.J. Tucker were to leave. So that will be interesting to see there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Heat. I see them re-signing Hero. They're probably losing Tucker. Can they manage a trade for Jay Crowder? That'll be interesting to watch. What do they do with Strus and Vincent? And then ultimately, is there a way? I think T.J. Warren really makes sense for Miami. We've seen this kind of time and time with them before, where they kind of give these guys who are cast aside by the NBA, and they give them opportunities. And that player is this year. Last year it was Victor Oladipo, or 2 years it was Victor Oladipo. But I think that this year it's going to be T.J. Warren. We haven't seen him play; he's been injured, but I think that would be a solid pickup for them, especially if he can just be something relatively close to what he was when he was with Indiana. But let me know what you think. Feel free to comment in the section. Feel free to comment in the comment section, and let me know what you think about the Heat and what they should do in free agency. And other than that, feel free to check out the other 29 videos, subscribe to the channel, and have a good